Hello, it's me, Troubadour, and I'm back again with, honestly, a really fun team. I'm really excited to finally be able to show this off. It's a team I've been trying to get for a while, as some of you have, some people have messaged me like, this team is 6, Troubadour, I just fought it, and I was like, thanks, I haven't won 10 games with it yet, but I finally have it here, so let's freaking go. But yeah, this is a really fun team in the Standard Customs Arena. So how this team kind of came about is I was trying to think of a useful way to use the Sarcastic Fringehead. Now, Sarcastic Fringehead, for those that don't know, it's a tier 3 that when it faints, it will summon a 1/1 copy of the backmost friend from your team up front on the enemy team. So basically, it's a way of giving one of your pets to the enemy team and guaranteeing that they'll have that pet. Now, what's the practical applications of that? There's a lot of funny applications. Like, think about that guy around Christmas that was giving everybody free trumpets and Markhor scaling, using Fringehead. But practical uses, you really see it. Well, first off, you don't really see it at all. But when you do see it, it's usually with Quetzalcoatlus, the pet that when it faints, it gives stats to the enemy team. So you give the opponent a Quetzalcoatlus, and then you kill the Quetzalcoatlus since it always summons as a 1/1 with the Fringehead. And then hopefully, it gives you a bunch of stats, and, it's like a free mammoth or whatever. That's kind of like the only practical use I'd seen out of the Fringehead. And, I was just thinking, what are some other ways I could make something useful out of the Fringehead? So to start off with, I was like, what are some pets that'd be useful to give to the enemy team? Maybe something that could like negatively affect the enemy, like, I don't know, a visitor could give them some ailments, something like that. Maybe a mole. I think someone did Fringehead mole. I can't remember who. It sounds cool. It's probably grounded. I don't know. Oh, shouts to Infected Player. Run into Infected Player here. In fact, actually, this team ended up showing up at the end of an Infected Player video recently. I thought that was really funny. Dude, all about Infected Player this week. And I was like, what's ways that can affect the enemy team? Well, if I use something like the visitor, make them give an ailment or mole to remove perks, something like that. But what I settled on is how about instead of, negatively affecting the enemy team via the, giving it a pet that, will affect it. How about instead I give it a pet that will make my team better? Like, think about, say I ran a hurt team and I used like a firefly or a hedgehog, that's actually not a bad idea. Give me an extra trigger, something like that. But I thought, what's something even cooler I could do? Like, that's cool and all, but like Firefly, all that kind of stuff, that'll only give me one use kind of out of it. And so then I devised this crazy team I got here. So basically what we're going to be doing, first off, we're scaling the Fringehead, because if we need the Fringehead to summon a pet on the enemy team, there needs to be space on the enemy team. So I need my Fringehead to knock out a pet if it's going to be at the front. Which I could do with stuff like peanut butter or peanut butter jar or whatever, but I decided just to scale it up since I got it early. But what we're going to be doing is using it with the Tardigrade here. So Tardigrade's another new pet. When it faints, it summons another Tardigrade, but it makes the Tardigrade dazed. So that means it will, the ability will not work anymore because it's dazed. And, you've seen some really cool, you may have seen some really fun teams, try it yourself, doing a Tardigrade chain where you use a bunch of like things to replace the perk or remove ailment. Like you got a Tardigrade with like a Fringehead, or sorry, what's it called? Frigate Bird and stuff like that. Like you got a Frigate Bird on your team and you've got a Seagull and stuff like that to replace the ailments and perks, get a bunch of infinite Tardigrade chains. I was like, what if I could do that, but for the enemy team? Like give them a Tardigrade and then somehow get him to summon it over and over, which gives me a bunch of attack triggers. And I was like, wait a second, then I could imagine if I used it with Boitata. Boitata could replace the dazed on the Tardigrade, making it summon again, which would let me use stuff like the snake you see here and basically get infinite snake triggers as long as I have Boitata triggers left. So you'll see it go off here in a second, so check it out. They get the Tardigrade and look at that. We kill the Tardigrade, which gives us a free snake trigger, but then it comes back, but we get to replace the dazed with the Boitata's Crisp to make the Tardigrade summon again, giving us yet another snake trigger. And that's kind of the basic idea that we'll see here. Now the bear there ended up doing more favors for me than the enemy team. But yeah, we take those. That's pretty sick. So that's kind of the general idea we're going for. Of course, the higher level Boitata we have, the better. That way we have more triggers on the snake and get or more triggers on the Boitata, so this summons more Tardigrade, which means more triggers on the snake. Now we're gonna lose this to totally delete my guy there, which sucks, and then they delete my tardigrades, and it summons a Boitata, and they just kill me. So you know what? They kind of totally screwed my team here. This team, I should say, not very good. Lots of ways to beat it, just with snipes or with repositioning or just, you know, snake of your own. This team sucks into opposing snake because you're giving them a free tardigrade to use it with that always re-triggers. But we pulled a chili on the Boitata here as well because we're like, well, if we're going to go ahead and get a lot of triggers, why not use it with the chili and get a lot of chili hits as well? So that's what we're going to be doing. Look at that. We do a lot of damage there. We'll get a little bit of stats on the snake double survive. And screw it, we're doing tiger snake. We're basically only statted up on our Fringehead, but we don't care. We've got the chili, we've got the snake, and the tiger. We should be doing a lot of damage now once we give him the tardigrade. Now we face a hurt team here, really unfortunate, but you really get to see the combo go off here. Look at that, we get all these triggers. Look at the chili hits, the tiger snake's putting on a lot of work. Once again, we're only level 1 Boitata, and our snake is only level 1 as well, so we're not getting that much damage as much as we could, but you can see the idea going off here, and I just think that's super fun. So really just rolling for the Boitata level here, that's all I want. There we go, so I get even more triggers on the snake. What do we face here? We face, hey, look at Boar Tiger. They got level 3, bunch of scalers, but they just cannot stand up to this. Look at all the damage. And look at this. We could have kept going. We could have gone 3 more rounds, but we're just way too strong. That's crazy. Now we are on 9 wins. Look at that level 2 snake. A little more stats in the Boitata, and we'll take the chicken leg just to help our sarcastic Fringehead get a KO. What do we face here with our infinite snake trigger, you know, exploit, whatever I'm going to title this video. I don't know. Face a big scaling team with freaking Wolverine, but look at all the triggers we get thanks to the tardigrade on the enemy team, just exploiting that with our Boitata and all of our damage, and that is going to be the 10 piece. Let's freaking go. So yeah, I'll have the pack code for this in the description if you want to try it yourself. Just keep in mind this took me like 25 tries, you know, so it's not a very good team, but it's a very fun team. So if you want to pull it off, go ahead and get the pack code from the description. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do that generic stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next video, but until then, as always, stay true.